Hello everyone, in this video we're going to have a look at this car here. This is a 2017, it's a Honda CRV and it's a 1.6 diesel model, and the actual specification on this car is what's called an SE Plus, and it's also a NAVi model as well. Anyway, in this video what we're going to do is we're going to have a drive in the car just to see what it's like to drive and what the features are on the inside when you're driving. Then we're going to have a look around at the features that are actually on the outside of the car as well, and we'll have a look at some of the comfort features that are on the inside as well. So by the end of the video you'll know all about this model of Honda CRV. And just before we get started, Brian's my name, Fitzpatrick's Garage at Dublin Road, Kildare. If there's any information you want on this car, please do call, text, WhatsApp, whatever suits, 086 843 1945. If you want to know about scrapping your car, trading in your car, if you want to know about financing, or just information on this really nice Honda CRV. And it's also worth mentioning we are a family-run business in operation for almost 70 years, and we're a main authorised Honda sales and service agent. And I think that's important for two reasons. First of all, we've sold lots of these cars, so we know them inside out. And secondly, we're actually going to prepare the car properly as well. So when you're buying a car from us, you're getting a car that's got a full Honda service history, and we're going to continue that Honda service history, servicing the car to the proper standards. Let's start off with a bit of a drive. So first thing, there is rake reach steering, so I can go in, out, up and down as well. The rear view mirror is what's called an electrochromatic rear view mirror, so it actually darkens itself when someone drives up behind you at night time, so there's no daytime, nighttime. And you have a conversation mirror as well, which allows you to keep your eye on people in the back. So you've got two rear view mirrors. In terms of driving, well, there's a really nice gearbox where it's placed. It's up high, you get that nice high elevated driving position, and where the gear stick is, it's just nice and relaxed. You don't have to reach far away when you're in a nice relaxed driving position. And the other thing as well is there's a lovely elevated driving position in the car. So it's high up off the ground, that's what people like. Big wing mirrors, lots of visibility in the front and side windows as well. And when you're driving, there's two screens. So you got the big screen with navigation, we're going to go through that better, and there's also an iMid high up, which is going to give you information about average speed and fuel efficiency while you're driving along, but it's right in the driver's eye line, as you can see at the top of the dash. And one thing I really like about these cars is they drive like a car. So it's an SUV, it's high off the ground, but you don't get that awkward kind of bulky drive that you get normally in a Jeep style car. This feels like a normal car to drive. And it accelerates really well, so from 0 up as far as about 100 kilometers an hour. There's loads of power. It's got a 1.6 diesel engine with 120 horsepower, but crucially 300 newton meters of torque, so it really pulls along nicely when you're getting up through the gears. And that torque figure will also facilitate 1.7 tons of towing capacity. It's also got this econ button here, which, as you see on the clocks, then it makes the clocks change from green to white when you're driving economically or not, and it also reduces how aggressive the cruise control and air conditioning and throttle position is too. On the right hand side of the steering, it's got a cruise control function, so once I set that, I can take my foot off the accelerator and it'll maintain the speed comfortably for me without touching the pedal. There's also a speed limiter, so once I hit that, it'll limit my speed if I accelerate. However, if I do floor it and override it, you'll also hear an audible beep that'll warn me that I've exceeded the predetermined speed. This car is also going to have dual zone climate control, so it means on the driver's side I can control my own temperature and my passenger can independently control their temperature as well. The other thing is it'll have front and rear windscreen demisters, which also defog the big wing mirrors too. And this car then is going to have lots of media ability, so things like Bluetooth streaming. But one thing actually that's a little bit unusual on this one is because it's got navigation, for some reason it actually gets a CD player, and you would not believe the amount of people that still have a lot of CDs, so that's pretty useful, and it looks kind of neat as well. While you're sitting in the cabin of the car then, you're going to have electrics for windows and mirrors up through here with folding mirrors. The parking sensors are up here. If you're not familiar with parking sensors, as I go close to an object up forward, it's going to give me a warning that there's something in front of me. Or similarly, when I'm going backwards, I got my camera in through here as well, which again gives me an audible warning, but also I have different settings visually as well if I want a non-panoramic or if I want a zoomed in view. And I have dynamic guidelines, which also gives me direction of travel when I turn the steering wheel. On the steering wheel then, I got a trip computer down here for things like average speed, fuel efficiency and all that kind of stuff. And in this case, a little orange warning just to tell me as well that I got a slightly low tyre pressure on one of the tyres. Bluetooth on the left hand side over here. Then there's controls for radio in through here, and then the iMid function we talked about as well with the information that's up in the driver's eye line. The other things then, the wipers are completely automated, so they come on when it rains, and the lights are automated, so they come on when it gets dark as well. The iMid up here then provides basic information, whereas we go down to the screen below then it's much more detailed. So the functions like things like Bluetooth for phone and audio information, that's all in through there. But the thing that people like on this particular car is going to be navigation, which is quite handy as well. And as we move down through the dash, there is some drinks holders, there's a 12 volt power outlet, there's an armrest that moves backwards and forwards, but in there you're going to have things like another 12 volt outlet, USB again, and there's a HDMI if you want to play video on the screen that's up there too. So for anyone that likes music, what you're going to do is you're either going to plug in music using USB, or you're going to Bluetooth it as well, or you're going to listen to the radio, radio or you're going to listen to CD. In terms of the looks of these cars, I think they've matured really, really well because there's so many Qashqais and Tucsons and Sportages on the road. That's what I like about the Honda. Do you know what? It's something different. In terms of specific features, I like the way the headlamps have these big wraparound daytime running lights which also serve as parking lights, and the lines also move down onto the grille, so you get a nice big kind of bullnose chrome grille at the front, which is aggressive looking. Moving down, the fog lamps have a nice chrome surround, so again we'll see there's lots of chrome around the car. Front parking sensors we talked about already, and then if you look at the grey colour of the car, it matches the grey that's all around the wheel arches and low down on the bumpers, and there's nice brushed aluminium on the front of this bumper as well. It makes it look really smart at the front. There's diamond cut wheels, so they're really shiny and reflective. It looks cool under artificial light or when it's sunny. And there's also side steps on this car, and I think side steps are badly needed in SUVs because it just makes it a little bit lower and more sporty looking. So I think it finishes off the car really, really nicely. The wheels, like we were saying, had that black and silver diamond cut finish, and I think that matches the black and silver side step as well as the chrome that's all the way around the windows. And because there's black on the wheel, that matches the privacy glass that's on the rear of the car then visually as well. And as we talked about then, the grey wheel arches match the body colour of the car, and there's also brushed aluminium roof rails up high which matches some brushed aluminium we've seen on the bumpers. There's more chrome as well along the boot lid as well, which matches the chrome on the nose of the car, and it's got that brushed aluminium finish on the bottom of the bumper like what we saw on the front as well. The key's pretty smart, so you can use the key to turn off the lights. So hit the lock button and after a couple of seconds your lights will turn off. Similarly then you can hit the unlock button and the lights will turn back on where necessary, especially at night time. And then you can also control the windows, so if you want you can let the windows down by holding down the unlock button, or similarly you can lock them back up again and also retract these big wing mirrors on the side as well using the key. The boot is really, really big. It's definitely one of the biggest boots in any of the SUVs we sell, and there's a spare wheel, and there's the UK registration. So this car is originally from the UK. And the reason for that is we actually just do not have enough of them to satisfy demand. So over the last few years, I suppose they've been here a long time, and they got to make some very good contacts over in England where they have excessive amounts of stock. So we bring really nice one owner cars with full service histories over, and all our pricing includes registration and all that kind of stuff as well. So you just drive away with your county of choice registration. The boot then also got another neat trick. So what you can do is pull the levers and they actually drop the boot down, and you end up with a really massive load area that's comparable to something like a light commercial vehicle. And it's also got these hooks in the rear to anchor stuff, and it's also got a 12-volt power outlet as well. In terms of the rear of the car, there's a nice bit of space in the rear, 3 head restraints, 3 3-point safety belts as well, a nice high elevated seating position for the passengers in the rear, kangaroo pockets and also ventilation in the rear, and the seating material is a nice dark hard-wearing black velour interior as well. And in terms of the size of the rear, well, they're just massive. So when I sit into the car, fine, I like the privacy glass. The privacy glass is deadly because it's actually useful when you get kids in the back of the car. It stops the sun shining in their eyes. And this is the amount of legroom I have. I've got a kangaroo pocket like we talked about already. I've got some ventilation like we talked about already. I've got an armrest in the centre here with some drinks holders as well. And then after that, I've got the ISOFIX point down here. I've got an ISOFIX point here, and I used to tell people before that 3 child seats was difficult, but I'm now starting to say to people it's kind of doable. So there was a lady that we had in with us, and she showed us her child seats. I'll show you the picture in a minute. And now they are a specific type of child seat. I think it's like Joy or Jolie or whatever. You'll see it in the little picture here, JOIE I think. But they make child seats that are suitable up to 3. So this lady had a 9-month-old and 3-year-old and 2 9-month-old twins, and we were actually quite comfortably using the safety belts now, mind you, able to get the 3 child seats across the back. So that is definitely a market that's opening up on these cars. And like we said, it's going to depend on the size of your child seat. These ones support children up as far as 3 years of age. In terms of the front then, the seat, so we saw the steering wheel was rake reach already when we were driving it. There's a height adjuster here. There's adjustable for the back part of the seat, but the main thing crucially on this here is it has lumbar support here for your lower back. So that means I can let the back part of the seat down low, in and out using this button here. And that is really important for anyone that's got a sore back. Some people like it really hard where it's digging into your back, and that provides support, but there's actually people that want the opposite where the seat kind of comes back out and gives them a bit more space as well. So quite useful for anyone that does a lot of driving or has a dodgy back. So there you have it. That is our 2017 SE D-Tech NAVi 1.6 diesel Honda CRV. If there's any information you want on the car, please do give me a call, 086 843 1945. If you have been watching on YouTube and you think the video is useful, please do like and subscribe. If there's anything I've missed that you want to know about the car, let me know in the comment section below. Anyhow, hopefully the video has been useful and hopefully the car is of interest, and thanks a million for taking the time to watch, and we'll hopefully see you next time.